Welcome, everybody, to the Only Eye Athletics podcast, the show that values hearing your stories, reliving your adventures, and learning information that can help us improve in all aspects of our lives. I'm your host, Dean Banco, and I know you enjoyed today's episode as much as I do. All right, today I have Andrew Owens on. I wanted to talk with him because he recently completed the Ironstone 100k. I wanted to see how he felt about the race, some details about it, how he prepared, and such. Um, so I guess basically to start, I wanted to get to know what got you into running and trail running to begin with.
Honestly, I ran cross country in high school, kind of got out of it till about 2 years ago. Uh, Actually, it would probably be the deer flies race out at Yellow Creek. I kind of fell in love with it after that. But now I've just been trying to get into some ultras, and most of the ultras I find are just trail races. So I'm just trying to see where that takes me.
So you pretty much switched from, cross country to trail running. Do you really do any road running at all?
I incorporated. I did Pittsburgh Marathon 2 years ago. And then after that, I just kind of got into a 50K, and then I've done a couple 100Ks this year.
What other ultras have you done then? Since you said you did a 50k and a couple other 100ks.
I did Last Trail Standing, which is out at Settler's Cabin, like where they have Hell Hath. And then I did the 100K at Rabid Raccoon this year. And then obviously Ironstone in July.
Oh. Which one of those 100ks did you like better?
Uh, they all had their pros. Rabid was a lot more runnable, and Ironstone really hadn't done any technical training on any kind of technical trail. So it was just it was fun to get out of my element to where you can't just run the whole time. You almost have to be precise with how you're running at Ironstone just because of all the technical spots that you had.
Yeah, it's one of those races. Like I never participated in it personally, but I've seen most of the course and I've helped at aid stations and stuff like that. I leapfrog a couple years like from aid station videoing and stuff, and just being on that like mid-state trail alone sucks. Whether
It
if
was it was definitely a relief when we got to Allen Seeger.
yeah, it's like I know a lot of people probably don't realize like the mid-state trail, like different parts of it. It goes through actual mid-state trail goes through the whole state of PA, and like one of the famous parts is the 1,000 steps. Oh crap, I forget what town it is. It off the top of my head, but that's probably one of the most, if not the most popular parts of the whole mid-state trail.
I didn't even know that that was part of Midstate. I've been there a
But
couple times, but I never put two and two together.
yeah, I always forget if like the steps are actually part of it or once you get to the top. But I think the stairs are part of it. I could be wrong. Somebody will blast me for it, but whatever. Um, so how do you generally prep now since you're a little bit of a seasoned vet for these longer races?
I've kind of just been making it up as I go. I should probably follow a training plan, but I just been trying to just stay about 50 to 60 miles a week, maybe a 20-mile long run. Longer if it's going to be 100K, but just been kind of making it up as I go.
What was your longest long run before the 100K?
I think for Ironstone, I just wanted to see how far I could run in 12 hours. So I did it at the local cross country course. I think I got 52 or 53. I mean, I didn't have near as much vert, but I just wanted to see how far I could go.
Well, yeah, because I mean, as long as you got time on feet, I think it's one of the biggest aspects of like long distance training. Like, you don't necessarily like have to put in 100 miles for 100k or anything like that per week. I mean, it helps, but just being on your feet, being able to stand for that long periods of time, I think really is a huge factor in success. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know because the way you work, like I tell people like that, like nurses and stuff on their feet all day long, and then like me doing the grocery stuff, like I'm on my feet all day long, so I sort of have like an advantage where I'm not, I guess, sitting down all day long like typing at a computer or anything.
Yeah,
Now, I know we talked a little bit, well, yeah, maybe more than a little bit throughout the spring and summer. You asked for some tips and stuff like that. And I know one of the tips that you tried out that I gave you or suggested was sauna suit training. So, how did that work out for you? And do you feel like it benefited you at all?
I think I was kind of worried about that because of Ironstone being 20 miles on that rail trail. So I think it helped because I got heat acclimated better than I'm sure some of the people. I mean, I'm going to continue to use it just because I think it helps.
Now, did you notice a difference, or could you notice a difference? I know because of when you started it, say like late spring, summer, compared to like your raccoon training, did you notice a big difference in your endurance, or do you just think maybe because of the weather changes or just your endurance overall in general getting better?
I think going into Ironstone, I was a little bit better prepared. I mean, when I was going into Rabid, I got IT banned in like January, so I kind of had to reduce it. So I think I went a little bit undertrained into Rabid. So I think going into Ironstone, I was a little bit better prepared, and I went on a couple of the, I guess they would be preview runs. So I kind of knew what I was getting into.
Which sections did you get to preview?
We did from like Irons, Indian Steps to we went from Indian Steps to Alan Seeger.
So that's like, well, I'm looking at the aid station, so that's like 36 and a half to 58.6. So that's a pretty good haul for a training section.
I don't think it was the whole way to Alan Seeger, but I know that's the section that we previewed. Like there might have been two different runs, but we previewed from Indian Steps to basically Alan Seeger.
Well, I guess I should back up just a hair. Um, for those that don't know, Ironstone is the 100k, as we've been talking about. It's realistically what they have listed on the website: 63.4 miles with 7,994 feet of climbing and 8,169 feet of descent. So, and the race directors and them say it's flat is what, 11.5 miles, uphill 23.7, downhill 28.1. So I mean, that right there should give people an idea of how varied the terrain is and maybe how hard it is, I guess. Or maybe not with all that flat, but I mean, yeah, it could be a little bit shocking to the system, I guess.
I think a lot of people went in seeing 23 hours for a 100K and then they didn't look at the course profile. I had heard a lot of people quit it right before Indian Steps.
Yeah, that's again, that's roughly like 36 into the race, so they're a little over half. And as you know, having ran it, 17 of those first, 21 miles is on rail trails. So I think people go out way too fast, way too hard on that rail trail, then get caught up once, the trail actually starts because they see the rail trail and they're like, oh, 17 miles, I could do that 2.5 hours. I'll be fine. I'll be way ahead of the cut. But once the terrain part hits, like the rockiness, it's a whole different story, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I stayed towards the back coming out of Canoe Creek, and then on the rail trail, I was just constantly passing people.
So did you feel like you went too fast on the rail trail or just ran comfortably on the rail trail?
I I wanted to try to bank a little bit of time, but and I mean I stayed below my heart rate below 160, so I didn't think I was going to blow up. It was just a matter trying to hold back because I knew what was coming.
But I mean, it is also nice to have that time in the bank because what you said it is what 23-hour cut. So if you do the first, well, I'm just going to say 21 miles because it's what 4 miles in Canoe Creek before you hit the 17 rail trail. So if you do that 21 miles and we'll say even 4 hours, you got what 19 hours to do 40 miles. So that seems
Yeah,
very doable, I guess, to a lot of people. And I think that's where the misconception of, I mean, they tell you up front this race is not easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck. But I think that misconception where the rail trail is going to benefit you, but it really doesn't. Um, now,
I think a lot of people blew up at the right when they got off the rail trail, and then they realized, oh, we're going into the woods now.
yeah, because would you not agree? Because you're familiar with the Lauer Trail, a
Yeah,
little bit, right?
yeah,
Would you agree? Because I tell people this when they want to go visit it. It is one of the hottest rail trails in the area because it seems the way the canopy is, it keeps the heat down on the trail, and then the trail radiates it back up. So there's really no escape when it's like a hot summer day.
yeah. It was pretty warm once we got onto the rail trail. I mean, it was. I was taking ice at every aid station just to try to not get overheated.
So getting into your getting into your strategy a little bit more coming into the race. What was your overall strategy, say for the first 30 miles and then like the second half, say after dark?
Somebody told me that I could run 14 minute miles on the rail trail, and then I could do 20s on once I got into the mountains and up on the rock. And I just wanted to get as much of mid state done before it got dark because I picked, I found two people. One guy was running the wrong way, and then a girl just kind of got lost. We picked her up and got her back on course. I just didn't want that to happen to me. It, I had the GPX file, so I wasn't really worried. But I don't think a lot of people had the GPX file to kind of guide them the whole
Yeah,
race.
having that file on your watch makes a huge difference. Like when I go explore new places or I have like a big race, even a little 5K or 10K, I always like to have that GPX file just because if the course ain't marked right, you know where to go. And I don't know about yours or how you have it set up, but say if there's a turn coming, I always get like a little vibration. And then
Yeah, mine's kind of set up like that.
do you pay attention to the climbs at all? I don't know if I always flip them back and forth on mine because I have a Garmin 945. I always like to go back and look at the elevation profile and see what Like if I'm on a climb, like how much feet I got left?
I don't think, I mean, I have a Chorus Apex Pro 2. I think I've ever actually scrolled that.
Yeah, I don't know about the Koros, but I know like the Garmin's on the GPX file, we could like so the elevation profile that they have on the website, it basically shows it on my watch so I could look at it and be like, all right, this climb is 400 feet for the next 3/10 of a mile, so that it like it'll count down like 300 feet, foot by foot, showing me, and it makes it to me it makes a huge difference when I'm racing, so I know how to adjust. So if it's like a quick hill, long hill type deal,
I'm gonna
so
have to look into that.
yeah, I'm sure Koros does. You might have to set it up a little, it's one of those setting things. So hopefully that helps you down the road a little bit more too.
Yeah,
So how far did you get before dark?
I would have got to I was halfway between Coltrane and Indian Steps. So I was probably 20 to 30 miles in before dark.
You said, oh, you mean, uh, all right, yeah, Collarin. Yeah, Collarin's what, like 27? That's that one, basically that big first real climb where you got that view off to it'd be your left hand side as you're going up the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my buddy John's aid station. Should have
Oh,
told you.
okay.
I should have told you that to give him a hard time. Uh, but did you get to see that view by chance?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They had a lot of nice views before it got dark. And then you have all the outcrop or you have the just little trails that go out to a lookout. I mean, it was the middle of the night by the time we got there, so there wasn't really anything to look at.
Now, the other thing is this race starts at what is it, 2 p.m.?
Yeah, we started at 2 in the afternoon.
So it's one of those unique races where your body might be thrown off a little bit because of the time start. Did you feel like you were thrown off at all, or did you have a hard time?
Most of my runs are after work, which is usually like between 4 and 6. So I mean, I think it was thrown off a little bit, and then most of my long runs are probably between 7 and 11 in the morning. So I mean, I think I'm sure there was a little bit of shock, but I don't think it was as bad as some people.
Now, throughout the night, did you have any low points at all? Where you're just like, this just sucks. I just want to be done. Or and there's in that ultra running, there's always that low point. Did you hit that at all, or when was that? If you did,
I I kind of rolled my ankle probably 30 some miles in. So it would have been before I got the Indian Steps. I didn't really have a low point there. I know towards daybreak after I mean I did a lot of the night navigation by myself. I mean I would have people that would come up and run up on me or I would run up on them and then either I would keep going or they would keep going. I mean I did a lot of it by myself. So by the time the sun came up, it wasn't a low, a really low point, but I was definitely I was definitely happy to see the sunrise.
well, yeah, navigation becomes a heck of a lot easier during the daylight. And did you feel once the sun hit or started to come up, did you feel rejuvenated at all? I noticed like overnight races, like as soon as that sun comes up and other people talked about it, they're just like the start of a new day and they just get so much more energy.
It definitely didn't hurt. I ended up one of the guys that I had met at an aid station. He caught me. I don't know. It was probably 6 o'clock. So the sun was up. It just after not really seeing anybody all night, it was nice to have somebody to run with for a couple miles.
Now, during the night ops, well, the night ops is what I usually call running at night. What kind of light did you take, or light source did you have?
I was looking at that. I got Petzl. What is this? Petzl Swift. My one buddy that actually kind of got me into running ultras suggested it, and I it worked. It worked well. I had two, and when one would die, I'd just swap it out, and I made the whole night on just two headlamps. So
Did you do you know how many lumens that is by chance?
I think one might have been 800, and the other one might have been 1,000.
Nice. Yeah, that's sort of on the high end, um, on the spectrum for headlamps that I noticed. Most are like 4 or 500, but for me personally, I like to get the highest as I can, so I don't trip and fall. So like the more to me, that is excellent amount of lumens for a night race.
I just knew what I was going to get into, and I wanted to see as much as I could.
Yeah, I also what I do now is I also double up a little bit, so I get a headlamp and a waist belt, so that way the shadows are a little bit different. I don't know how to explain it, but the way that both lights work in tandem, the shadows basically disappear. So you know, like how your headlamp, you get a little bit of a, I guess, a back shadow on rocks and stuff, whereas like a waist belt sort of takes it away. It's kind of weird.
I did a little bit of training with like a cheap Energizer headlamp from Home Depot that I basically just put around my waist. But once I got the Ironstone, I wanted to make sure I had enough to last the night, so I didn't really run with anything around my waist.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's just a little thing I picked up because I'm also one of those people that I don't know about you, because if you hear something in the woods, I'm always like twisting my head at night. You know, you never know what you're. Hopefully, it's just deer and stuff, but I always look around. So at least like my waist belt is focused on the trail the whole time, whereas like my head, I could sort of. It's just I don't know. It's one of those weird things. I'll have to show you in person one day. Now, speaking of the woods, um, did you see any critters on the course at all, like snakes or deer, bear?
We actually walked up on a timber rattler. There was a group of us, and it almost looked like a to-go container because he was coiled. And then as we got closer, we're like, "Oh, okay, we're you stay here, and we're gonna go that way." And then we saw probably two or three, but there was a lot of sheds near the trail, so I know they're there, but we didn't really see as many as I thought we would.
Was that it? Were they all at night or daylight?
A lot of them were like right after nightfall, like within probably 2 hours of nightfall. Once it got overnight, I really didn't see too much.
No. Yeah, so they're still trying to get that radiant heat from the rocks and stuff before they have to den up for the night. That'd be one of my fears running Ironstone with those like big rocky hill sections is not getting stepping on a snake that you don't see because it's nighttime and you don't get that extra like couple foot of view in front of you. But thankfully you didn't get bit or nobody got bit.
Yeah, I didn't hear of anybody getting bit, and I was kind of worried about that, but I don't know. I just tried to be cautious, but I still wanted to make forward progress.
Yeah, snake bitings and Well, it's more so like rattlesnakes. I think they're so rare in PA. There might be like one every like 5, 10 years, if that. It's like getting attacked by a bear. It's one of those rare things, but because most people in the woods are not screwing around enough to aggravate them, I guess.
Yeah, on the one preview run, Patrick, the co-race director, said that they're not going to come after you. Like you have to provoke them or step on them. Like they're not. They know that you're too big, so they're not going to waste their venom on you.
Yeah, I'm actually more concerned about copperheads than rattlesnakes because it seems like copperheads are the I don't know, for lack of better terms, the a-holes of the snake family in PA.
I've heard they're really aggressive. I haven't run up on one yet, but I heard that they can get aggressive.
Yeah, I've actually seen a lot on rail trails like Ghost Town Trail. There was a quite a few, I think last year, but hey, at least I saw them on my bike and not on my foot. So, uh, now what did you use for like nutrition and hydration during the race?
I basically fueled. I had two soft flasks with tailwind, and then I had a bladder with just straight water. And then I've never had any issues, but I heard people have had issues. I mean, I did it with the Nerds gummies and gummy bears. And then I know towards the end, I was taking in some broth once we got into Alan Seeger. But I mean, most of it was nerd clusters and gummy bears.
So more sugar than say like protein and carbs then?
Yeah, and it's worked for me. I mean, I'm always open to try new things, but I mean, it's always worked. I would take two Tums at every aid station just so that my stomach didn't decide to turn. I think I'm gonna start putting that into practice on every ultra from here on out.
Yeah, it's I tell people everybody's different, so like your food needs and what you need and what you crave during a race is individualized. So like giving tips to somebody. So there's somebody today on the Altoona PA runners asking about tips and stuff, and I was like, I said something about I can help you, but the intangibles like the food, nutrition, and stuff, you have to learn on your own because I can tell you what works for me, but your stomach and your body's completely different. 1 mile in, even 10 miles in compared to mine. So it's such a weird learning process in the ultra world, I guess, to learn.
Yeah, I got tagged in that too. I
Oh
just didn't
yeah,
really know what to tell them. I just kind of have to just experiment and find out what works.
yeah, and do it in training. So overall, um, how did you like compared to the other courses you ran, like Raccoon and stuff like that, and Last Man Standing? How was the course for marking, like the flags and stuff like that?
For the most part, it wasn't bad. I mean, once you got onto the mid state, you were just following the blazes. But some of the trees were either had fallen down or you just kind of had to pay attention. You couldn't really cruise through there between the rocks and then just making sure that you saw that blaze on the tree.
Now, did they have I know sometimes like Eastern and World's End, they have the ribbons with the reflective. Did they have any of those up there?
Yeah, they had ribbons basically on any kind of turn that wasn't obvious. They would throw up they would throw up the ribbon just to give you an idea. Okay, you're gonna make a left, you're gonna make it a right.
Now, Mid-State Trail itself, I'm drawing a blank here. What? Because I run so many. Like Laurel Highlands is yellow, and some other trails are different colors. What color is the blaze on the Midstate Trail?
I think it was orange. I think.
Yeah, it's probably like one of those things that you really don't think to remember. It's hard for me because, like I said, running so many different trails, DCNR, uses some different ones. So it's I was just always curious. I'd have to look. I'm gonna have to look into it now because I'm just one of those curious things. But did you have a hard time picking that color up at night at all?
No, I mean between that and then just every once in a while looking at the GPX file on my watch. I mean, I had no issues. I got off the trail once, but I mean, I was able to see, okay, I don't see any markings, and then just kind of backtrack to where the last place I saw a marking, and then got righted again.
So how were the aid stations this year at Ironstone, and which one was your favorite if you could remember?
I mean, I think that all the aid stations were great. I mean, the volunteers were great. I tried not to. I don't know. I have a problem. I don't like to just stay at the aid station. Like I just like to get what I need and just keep going. But I mean, I think I think the race is well put together, and then it's reflected in the aid stations because everybody wants to help. I know when we were on the rail trail, every every aid station we went to, somebody was trying to refill your flasks and get you ice, and I mean they're top notch. I think.
Yeah, usually I like to tell people PA has the best aid stations, in my opinion, out of all the United States. Just because I think our people, when they volunteer at an aid station, they know they're giving up their time and their day, but they're doing it willingly and they actually are there wanting to be there. They're not like forced to be there or paid to be there. They're volunteering and they to me they truly have the best intentions of helping the runner in any way possible. So when you go out of state, not to bash other states, but it's just like, oh, this doesn't have the PA feel.
It was definitely nice to get to the aid station for Indian Steps and see my buddy Steve Pagano there. I mean, that was kind of uplifting. And then once we got to Alan Seeger, seeing Stephanie and them from Johnstown Running Club, so it was kind of a pickup right at the end.
Now you're talking about seeing people. Did you know a lot of people on the course, or did you make any friends and stuff like that along the day?
I made, oh yeah, during the day, and then some of the people that I ran the preview runs with, kind of made friends with them. I mean, I think the trail community as a whole was really welcoming.
Yeah, you pretty much can walk up at any trail race. I want to say this again for PA races, since I do have a little experience outside of PA, that you can pretty much talk to any person at a PH trail race, whether it be north, south, east, west, and just start talking to them like you're like next door neighbors or your family, and it just everybody seems to like just fit right in, like your brother, sister, mother, father, whatever you want to say. So it is a really nice community that PA has.
Yeah, I've only run just those couple ultras, but everybody just seems to be they want to help you and they're cheering you on as much as you're cheering them on, and it's just a good environment, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just a good atmosphere overall. Just how we treat people and try to treat others out there. Like you said, uh, you guys helped a woman, get back on the trail or, find the right way and stuff like that. Just like one of those things that, other areas may not be so inclined to do. Um, I mean, most of the trail running community, I would say 99% would, but in the heat of the battle, it's sometimes, people get caught up and aren't always the nicest. Now, would you say you pushed yourself a lot or did you hold back at all? Or, you know, what would you have, I guess, did you leave anything out there, I guess?
I kind of got conservative once I rolled my ankle. Like I had no quit in me. I was going to run until they either pulled me for time or I rolled my ankle worse.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say. did you take polls or anything like that at all?
Yeah, I got a cheap pair from the outdoor store right next to Target in Altoona. I'm trying. I'm
Brush,
drawing a blank.
oh, Appalachian Trail or Appalachian Run Company.
No, it was. I can't think of what the name's called.
I'm trying to
It
think.
used to be Gander Mountain, I
Oh,
think.
is there a Dunham's up there or Dick's?
Nah, it might have been. I can't remember. I got
That,
it at one of the
oh,
sporting.
ah,
I can't think of what
crap.
it's called.
Yeah, it's
Drawing a
like some
blank.
sporting goods, not like Sporting's Warehouse or something, but I know what you mean now. It is like a Gander Mountain Cabela's type building. Is that the one you're talking
Yeah,
about? Yeah.
yeah, and I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah. It's been a couple years since I've been to that store. Um,
It
so
was
during
either
your
there or Dick's.
see, did you have more like were they the collapsible ones or were they like the folding ones?
Nah, I had the ones that fold that I can just put in the back of my vest.
All right. How did you mentally stay focused during the whole race?
I just once I got past Indian Steps, I knew that I really only had two more climbs. And I just really wanted that flannel.
It is a nice. Was it gray and blue this year?
I think so.
I think Ben was wearing it at Laurel this year. You know, showing it off a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, I could be, but I'm pretty sure that was yeah. It was like more gray than with like the blue square. I don't know
Yeah.
what you call that. So when you're running in general, or racing, what is your like sort of backdooring what I just asked you? Like, what is your motivation or why you run and race in general?
I mean, I have teenage kids, so I want to teach them that I mean, you can do hard things. Like it might suck in the moment, but you can nothing nothing that's worth doing is going to be easy.
So have they got in the running yet?
My son runs cross country. He's actually the reason I got started back into running. He started cross country and I figured, "Oh, I should get into shape." And it just kind of snowballed from there.
Now here, this might be the most important question that I'm going to ask you. Who's faster right now?
Probably me. He's not into shape for cross country yet. I mean, I'm not saying he won't pass me up once he gets through camp and a couple races, but I think it's probably me
All
right
right.
now.
I mean, no knock on him, but you got. Do you guys have a like father son rivalry going at all, or
No, he's pretty laid back. He kind of doesn't get too excited about it.
Well, I do look forward to meeting him and seeing him out there and racing him sometime. Maybe you guys could do like a some kind of like relay or it'd be cool to see you guys do like a relay or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to talk him into that. Maybe I'll get some of him and his cross country buddies.
So, what drew you to Ironstone to begin with?
Honestly, I just found it and I was running with the Altoona Running Club, and the one guy that ran it last year just told me how crazy it was, and I just figured I want to see how bad it is. Maybe it's not as bad as he says.
Did he prove now your expectations were they proven right or wrong in the end?
I mean, it was definitely difficult. Like you gotta, if you're gonna deal with that much technical running, I mean, you're gonna have to be mentally strong because it's gonna wear on you after probably 30 miles or whatever it was that we had to run on that.
No, I remember asking you because I saw you at Deer Flies uh, probably 2 or 3 weeks after you finished Ironstone. But I asked you about your shoe changes, if you had any shoe changes, and then if you changed shoes on the rail trail before you switched to the trail part. I couldn't remember what your answer was. So, did you change shoes at all?
I probably should have, but I didn't. Like, I think next year I'll probably go with a road shoe until I get to Alfrada before we go into the woods, just because I think just the shoe change, because by the time I was done, my feet were just destroyed.
Yeah, that rail trail part for 17 miles on actual like trail shoes can really beat you up a little bit. So you didn't change shoes or socks at all throughout the whole night.
No, I didn't. I should have, but I didn't.
You didn't get
I
any.
packed them, but I just didn't use. I just didn't. I don't know why. I just must have been locked in.
Oh, sometimes it's better not to because then you open up the possibilities of like saying blisters or something like that. They start to throb a little bit more once the pressure's off. Did you get any blisters or anything from wearing the same shoes then?
I think I had a couple, but they weren't nothing. There was nothing terrible.
Well, that's always a good sign that your training went pretty well. Because well, the course itself is pretty dry, isn't it? I don't. There's really no like real wet spots or stream
There,
cross.
there was no stream crossings or anything. I guess they just made it up with all the rock that they had there.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty dry course. I mean, I'm trying to remember like all the courses running through my head. I'm trying to remember the whole course, but yeah, I thought it was a dry course. Um, how did your recovery go from Ironstone, and what did you do to recover?
I I know when I got home, I threw the recovery boots on, and then I think I took a day or two off, and then it was just kind of just easy running, just trying to get back into training, not really pushing hard.
Did you have any special meal in celebration?
I just had, I think I had a pulled pork because they had a barbecue joint there at the finish.
Sometimes I ask that because sometimes people have like a celebratory like cake or pie or big they go somewhere fancy get a big old steak. Me, I'm just like just give me some cheap Walmart pizza and I'll be fine.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people after a big race they can't eat anything, but by the time I was done, I just whatever they had sounded great.
Yeah, that's one of those signs that lets you know that you really did a good job and you really did a good effort if you're willing to eat whatever. Um, So, what are you looking forward to in the future as far as like races or running in general?
I'm kind of right now. I'm just kind of trying to find a 100 miler. I mean, I thought about trying to get into Eastern states, so maybe try Eastern states next year. Probably try Rabid the 100 miler.
Yeah, I think they're moving Rabid, or it is moved already, announced to like May or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a completely different ball game than being in March.
Yeah, it's always hit or miss because that what was it last year, the year before it was maybe it was 2 years ago. It was like 30 degrees or something and icy, and people had like the icicles on their eyes. So maybe if since they moved it, it'll be a little bit warmer, but not too hot.
I just know it poured on my third lap. It just poured, or probably most of the lap. It just poured.
Yeah, I was done by then.
Yeah, because didn't you do the halves?
Yeah, it was poured on my way home from like the pit. Well, I call it from Pittsburgh way, but um, yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not out there right now. I mean, I hate to say that, but I was kind of laughing because I wouldn't have wanted to been out there on some of the like that. What I guess where the hills are, like after you cross that creek and you first start out like that little next 2 miles to the finish, I wouldn't have wanted to been on there when it was pouring down rain.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Now, is there anything you're looking to improve on in like the near future down the road as far as like running, like any aspect, like gear, endurance, anything like that?
Uh, I'd like to work on some speed. I think I have a decent endurance built. I just want to try to get a little faster.
We, uh, well, since you said speed, how do you plan on doing that? Or do you have an idea of what you want to, go about accomplishing that?
I think I live right down from Cambria Heights track, so I might try to do some track workouts, some fartleks, a lot of hill work.
Well, I will say, I mean, we didn't really touch on it per se, but like as I said, I saw you at deer flies, and somebody did win the 15K if I don't remember.
Yeah, when he handed me that bowl, I I didn't think so because I started basically not last, but I mean I was towards the back. And then I was looking at times and I was like 3 minutes slower than last year. I mean, it
Oh,
helped that AJ did the 25, but
hey, take it when you can.
that's what everybody tells me.
Was that was that your? Well, I don't want to pry too much, but was that the first race you won at all, or did you win any other races?
No, that's the first race I won. I finished second at the first responders 5K that they had in September down at Lakemont Park. But yeah, that was the first win.
Well,
Hopefully there's more, but I mean,
well, congrats, man. It's a huge accomplishment to win a race in general, no matter what distance, whether it's a 1 mile, 100 mile, 200 miler. It doesn't matter if there's like 50 Jim Walmsleys that were there the year before and they don't show up this year. Like winning a race to me is important, and it's such a huge accomplishment. No matter what, like you said, you ran like what 3 minutes slower, or
yeah,
yeah, like that doesn't matter. Like winning the race and being happy with your performance is ultimately what matters. Well, winning isn't everything, but once you won and you can say you won, like it's just such a cool thing to say.
yeah, going into that, I didn't even sign up. I wasn't even pre-registered. I just kind of on a whim, day of race, I signed up and wasn't really going to go crazy. Just kind of wanted to run it again because last year I rolled my ankle, so it was just kind of redemption that I came out with no rolled ankles, and I mean the win was just icing on the cake.
Did you ever do the 25K out there?
No, I thought about it this year, maybe next year. I'll
All
just
right,
try to chase AJ down if he does it.
all right, because we got to challenge you to do the 25K next year because it's I want to say it's more the back half which you miss in the 15 to the 25. I will say is harder, but it's more fun and when you finish like the challenge of you finishing it and just that back half like crossing the spillway like both directions and stuff like that. It's just a whole different atmosphere compared to the 15K.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna sign up for that 25K next year just to see it. I
I'm not
mean,
saying that I'll be at the 25 next year again, but we'll see how things go. At least I'll be there in some fashion. Maybe just the 8K again so I could take videos and stuff. Um, Anything else you want to add by chance about Ironstone um, or other races?
well, if you like rocks and you like a lot of elevation once your legs are dead, sign up for Ironstone.
All right, so I got one last thing I want to ask or get from you before we wrap this up. Um, do you have any tips for new people in trail running or running in general, or a tip that you just want to share that worked for you, so the masses can hear?
I've been trying to pull people over to trail running, just telling them like you don't have to go as fast. If you go to an ultra, look at all the food you get at the aid stations. You don't have to be fast. And just for the new runners, I mean, just don't do too much too fast, get hurt, and then just swear off the sport. Just kind of ease into it. You're not going to be the fastest when you start. I mean, I can remember when I started back up, it was just a mile at a time. So you just kind of have to take the little wins and just go from there.
Nice. That's good, solid advice. All right. On that note, that's all I had for today. Yeah. So I think that's a pretty good ending point for the conversation. So Andrew, I thank you for jumping on and doing this. I always enjoy seeing you out there. I hope to see you again soon. And congratulations on the Ironstone, the Rabid Raccoon, Last Man Standing, and your first win at Deer Flies this year.
Yeah. And thanks for having me on. I mean, it was nice to catch up.
All right. See you soon.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to the episode today. If you or anyone you know has any amazing stories, adventures, or interesting information you or they may want to share, please reach out to me anytime. On the next screen, you can scan the QR code or type in the Linktree website to easily find all the social media locations Only iAthletics is located. Take a second and hit the follow button as you visit each one.